am Dr. Pavitra Bharadwaj. I am Associate Professor in the Department of Computer Science in Jesus and Mary College, University of Delhi. So friends, this is a series on web programming, and in this lecture we are going to talk about, actually we are going to continue our discussion from the previous lecture where we were talking about HTML and how HTML is used as a front-end programming tool for websites, and why HTML remains so popular even after ages of it being started. So the main reason why HTML remains so popular is firstly that it is very simple to learn and it is simple to use, and after the basic HTML structure has been made, it is very simple to change that also, it is very simple to upgrade also. So now we are actually using HTML5, which is very similar to the previous versions, and it is one step ahead. So there are some improvements, but it is very easy for any new person to learn the changes which are coming in any revised version also. So therefore, if you learn HTML, if any person learns HTML, it becomes very easy for that person to get into the the business of web designing and web development, because all the other technologies are based on this fundamental technology, which makes this technology very popular, and we can say that it is indispensable if you want to get into the domain of website designing and web programming. So in the previous lecture we were discussing about some kinds of formatting tags which are used in HTML, and how these tags can be used to change the look of your text, to change the the appearance of your text, whether you want to make it bold, italic, underlined, or you want it to be superscripted, subscripted, or you want to arrange your text into the paragraphs, because we know that HTML actually ignores the white spaces. So even if while typing in the text editor you are giving some spaces, in your output in the browser you will not see those unless you specify them using particular tags, right. So if you look at this code snippet which is shown here, you can see that we are using the p tag or the paragraph tag, because when you want it the new paragraph to end, in case of HTML you have to use the appropriate tag. So when the first p tag ends, we draw a line using the HR tag, and then we have the next p tag. So even if you want to go to the next line, you can only go using the p tag. So like in the second paragraph you can see we are also using the BR tag for this. But what is the difference between the BR and the p tag? When you use the BR tag, the browser simply goes to the next line. So the next text will begin from the next line. But when you use the p tag, it is actually going to insert a blank line in between. So between two paragraphs it will automatically insert a blank line, some space will be inserted, right. And also you can use the p tag for multiple kinds of text formatting like the alignments. So actually when we do the style sheets element in that is another part of the HTML only, where we only talk about how we can use each tag differently and how we can add more value, or how we can make it more weighted. Each tag can be made more weighted. Then we will know about the different attributes which can further be added to enhance your page. So you can see this is the output of the p tag and the BR tag. So we can see that when you are using the BR, it simply goes to the next line, but when you are using the p tag, it goes to the next line by even, and there is one line gap which is left in between. So this is the difference between the paragraph tag and the line break tag. So more so we can see that now these are the effects of the different tags that we use in formatting. So we use the B tag for bold, we use the I tag for italic, right, we use the U tag for underline. Then we have that for the typewriter style we use the TT, and we can use the strong tag also, which is giving a similar output, which gives a similar effect like the bold tag, and we can use the superscript and subscript, that is SUP and SUB command for creating a superscripted or subscripted text. Then there is one more very important, tag which you can use here, that is the pre-formatting tag, which is used for pre-formatted text. Pre-formatted text means like if there is a design which you want to show on the browser screen. So as we already know that the browser cannot read the blank spaces, so it will not show the design. But if you want to show a particular pattern, or if you want to show some text in a particular way, then you can put it under the pre-formatted tag, which is known as the pre tag. So in between the pre and the closing pre, whatever you will put, that will be shown on the browser screen as it is. So this will not be changed, the formatting of this will not be changed by the browser. So this is known as the pre-formatted or the pre tag. So the output of this will look as it is on the browser screen. Now when you talk about formatting, besides the basic formatting, one of the very important elements is the font. That is how you can make changes to your font or the appearance of the text. So for this we have the element called the font element. So the font is used to change the appearance of the text, okay, and font tag has got several attributes. It has got multiple attributes, so that you can control the type of the font, you can control the size of the text, you can control the color of the text, right. So first attribute of the font tag is the face attribute. So in font face you can specify which font you want the text to appear. Like for example, here I have given 3 fonts: Arial, Times, Courier. Now why am I giving 3 fonts here? Because if a particular browser does not support the first font, it can use the second. If it does not support the second, it can use the third font. Otherwise it will use the default font, not a problem, but as per the designer, he wants to show the text in any of these 3 fonts. Then you can specify the color in which the text should appear by using the color attribute, and you can give the size of your text using the size attribute. Now size can be specified as a number between 1 and 7, where 1 is the smallest and 7 is the largest, and the default size is 3. So you can also give a relative size, like for example you can write size is equal to +2. So +2 means that your size will be 2 points more than the default, so it will be 5. Or you can give size is equal to -1. So -1 means that it will be 1 point lesser than the default font size. Okay, so this font attribute, the font tag can be used with its different attributes. Now about the color attribute, we need to look at it in further detail. Now colors can be specified in multiple ways actually. The first way is directly by giving the name of the color, like you can write color is equal to red, blue, black, any of the colors, right. But generally what happens is that when you give the absolute name of the color, it may not be represented exactly in the different browser, because we know that the website will be used by multiple people who have different platforms, who have different hardwares, who have different devices on which the website will be viewed, who have different operating systems. So therefore the color name that you are giving may not be a standardized way of representing the color. So therefore there are other methods by which you can control that the color that you are specifying is the exact color that the user will or the viewer of the website will see. So this can be defined using another way, that is the RGB or the hexadecimal color combination. So actually we know that when we used to have the cathode ray tubes, we knew that we have picture elements, that is every picture is made up of tiny dots, millions of dots, which are known as pixels. And if you look at the pixel, you understand that there are 3 areas within the pixel for the 3 primary colors, that is red, green and blue color, right. So the intensity of the red, green and blue can be altered, and then using this differing intensity of the three primary colors, you can create all the colors of the universe, right. So you can give the color in the code format, and this is known as the hexadecimal color code format. So now in the hexadecimal color code format, you actually have 6 bits, right, and in each bit you will specify one hexadecimal number. So hexadecimal basically means that you can use the digits from 0 to 9, and then you can use the alphabets from A to F, right. So in this case what you can use is, you will write a hash sign, which means that this is a hexadecimal color code, and then you will write the first 2 bits are for red, the next 2 are for green, and the last 2 are for blue. So you can specify the codes, you can specify the different intensities for red, green and blue to create whatever color you want to create. So you can have, you know, like for example, if you want a red color, you can write FF and then 4 zeros. So it means maximum intensity of red and minimum intensity of green and blue, right. If you want a complete you know, black color, you will write maximum intensities of all. If you want a complete, you know, white color, you will write 0. So this way, you know, you can use this for mixing and matching and creating a color palette of your own. Now when you use the different tools, like, you know, it is difficult to know the exact color code of the color that you want, right. By hit and trial you tend to learn that, but it takes time. So there are multiple ways, you know, which give you very easy codes for the color that you want. So you can use simple tools, like for example, you can use paint. Okay, in paint you can choose a color and the hexadecimal code of that color comes, so you can use it directly from there. If you are using a tool for your web page development like Adobe Dreamweaver, there you can directly pick up the color from the color palette and automatically its code will be used. So it works both ways. From the code you can go to the color, or if you know the color, you can obtain the code using the particular tool or particular application that we are using. So this color attribute that we have used, this can be used not just in font, it can also be used to give a color to the entire web page. So for that you can use the BG color attribute of the body tag. So with the body tag we write body BG color and you specify the code of the color. So here, you know, it is like red has the maximum intensity, then you have the intensity of green which is 50% almost, and then you have the intensity of blue which is again 50% of the intensity of green. So like this, you know, you can define the color by using the hexadecimal code, and this hash here is very important because this hash signifies that this is a hexadecimal color code. Then, you know, you have besides the font, the text can be organized on a web page in different formats. Like for example, we want to show the text in the form of lists. Now lists can be of two types. You can have bulleted lists, right, which are known as unordered lists because they don't follow any order, and you have ordered lists which are known as ordered because they have a number. Now this number could also be different. You can have numbers like A, B, C, D, you can have numbers is 1, 2, 3, 4, or you can have Roman numbers, you can have numbers in any which way. So for ordered list as well as for unordered list, we have the command. So for unordered list, we will use the command UL, and for each item in the list, we will use LI. So UL is the entire list and LI is used for list item, right. So within that particular list you are using as LI. Similarly for ordered list we use OL, ordered list, and you can use, again we use LI here, but because ordered list can be of multiple types, that is you can use numbering from, you know, in normal numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, Roman alphabets, you know. So you can give the type of numbering that you want. So you can give any of the one types, okay. So you can give the Roman or you can give numbers or whatever type that you want to give, and you can also give the point from where you want the list to start. Say for example, if you want the list to start from the third numeral, right? So you will write start is equal to 3. Okay, so different types of ordered lists can be made, whether numeric or alphabetic, etc. Likewise, unordered lists can also have different types of bullets. So you can have, UL type is equal to, you can have a circle, you can have a bullet, okay, you can have a square. So you can have multiple types of bullet in the unordered lists also. And also when lists are made, you can also create nested lists. Nested list means that is one list can be a part of another list. Okay, so then you can have the nested UL and OL commands, so that one list will be a part of the other list. Okay, so that is a nested list. So for example, this example shows you a type of nested list, where you see that in the first list you have numbers 1 and 2, and the first part, that is Faculty of Arts, further has 2 bullets, and likewise the other list in the Faculty of Science has got 3 level of nesting. So this list can be created using levels of nesting, that is one list becoming a part of the other list. So this will make the page look very, very organized, and lists are very commonly used when you want to show parts of the whole, or when you want to show the categorization of the different items on a particular page, right? Then we have the very important aspect of the HTML. The name HTML comes from the fact that HTML gives us the power of linking. Linking means that from one page you can go to any other page by clicking on a simple text. So this text is known as a hyperlink, or it can also be known as a hypertext, thus giving the name hypertext markup language to HTML. So linking is done in HTML using a tag called the anchor tag. Now the anchor tag is also commonly known as the A tag. Now A tag has got the most important attribute, which is known as the href attribute. Href means hyper reference. That is, what is the path or what is the name of the file which is being referenced by this text. That is, if you click on the text, where are you going to go? So that path or that name is specified in the URL. Okay, so you have the href, then you give the URL. URL is actually the name of the file and the path of the file that you want to open, and then you give the text and you close the anchor tag. Now besides the href attribute, the A tag has got various other attributes also, like the name attribute, in which you can give the name to the anchor, you can give a title to the anchor, and you can also give a target to the anchor. So target here basically means that where exactly you want the file to open. You want the file to open in a new window, or you want the file to open in another frame, or you want the file to open in the same window. So there can be multiple values which the target attribute can take, and depending on that value, the file which is the linked file will open when you click on the hypertext, right? So linking basically is working in this way. So we have a page on which you create a link. Okay, you give the URL or the name or the path, whatever, of that file. You give the target attribute and you say click this link. So when this link is going to come, when the user is going to click on this, the linked file, that is mywebpage.html, is going to open, right? So friends, we will be continuing our discussion on HTML tags in the following lectures. Please keep watching CEC. Thank you.